While I'm aware that Phantom Forces is dying, there is still a committed player base that's kind of interested in learning the game. So, in this video, I'll be talking about the top 5 optics, in my opinion. Optics don't really affect your recoil at all, excluding the DCL 120. It's the only optic in the entire game that reduces your recoil. But it does look kind of goofy, so, use it if you want. So this is more so of a top 10, but I'm just going to include like 2 optics in the same slot. So coming in at number 5 is the Kosaku OLED and AAC flip-up sight. The Kosaku OLED sight is arguably one of the best sights in the game, purely because it has such a low zoom. And in this game, lower zoom obviously offers like better appearance of recoil control. It doesn't affect the recoil, but it just makes it easier to manage, in my opinion. While the optic does look like absolute dog shit, like the little reticle looks pretty terrible, the low zoom makes up for it. On top of that, just using Crosshair V2 just makes it better, or literally just draw a permanent marker in the middle of your screen. Now, the iron sight counterpart that I compare this to is the AAC flip-up sight. I think this is one of the cleanest sights in the entire game. The reason I've ranked them both so low is because they're so expensive. The AAC requires 1,275 kills, while the Kosaku OLED requires 1,554. An odd number, but I'm sure there's some kind of reason behind it. Now, coming in at the number 4 spot is the regular Kosaku sight, which is 777 kills. Now, this one is unique in a way that it's more so of an iron sight than it is a red dot. Just purely because of how it's placed, it kind of looks a bit silly. Kind of like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 reticle, but it behaves more like an iron sight than it does a red dot. And the iron sight counterpart that I put to it is the CAC sight. Now, the reason I've ranked this sight kind of at number 4 place is because it does require 600 kills, which is a bit of an investment in a gun. But it is a 1.0 zoom magnification, which it isn't a zoom at all, but it makes the recoil much easier to control compared to, other optics that may have like 2 or 3 times zoom. Now, coming in at the number 3 spot, we have the TA44 ACOG or the TA33 ACOG. Now, I was just going to put the TA44 here, but a lot of people do say the TA33 is really good, and I used to main the TA33 just purely because it's got a really clean crosshair, and you can alt aim it in and out to be either a sniper scope or just as a, ACOG. And the TA44 is very similar to the 1.5x from Siege, even though in this game it's 2.1 times zoom. Either way, very clean scope. You can use it for snipers, you can use it for assault rifles, you can even use it for submachine guns. Very clean reticle and not overly expensive. 295 kills for the TA44 and 650 for the TA33, which is a bit more of an investment, but up to you. TA44 is perfectly fine and it's pretty low kills. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have the half ring sight and the backup sight. Now, these are both extraordinarily cheap. The half ring sight only comes in at 90 kills, which is insane for how low of a zoom it is. 1.1 zoom, hiding that recoil perfectly. You can literally just slap this on most guns and they'll become usable. And the backup sight is a 1.0. The only thing I don't like about the backup sight is this little ring kind of gets in the way when you're like aiming down sights. It's a bit obstructive, but with such a low recoil, with such a low zoom level, the recoil becomes easily manageable. It does look a bit goofy on some guns, but for how inexpensive they are and how much benefit you get from them, I'd say they easily take the number 2 spot. And of course, coming in at the number 1 spot is the Delta sight or the mini sight. 60 kills for arguably one of the greatest sights in the entire video game. Low zoom optic, 1.3. It used to be 1.2 a couple patches ago, but they nerfed it. Still though, insanely usable. You can customize the reticle after 200 kills, and the mini sight, which is a 1.2 sight magnification. Still insanely good, not obstructive, very, very clean, and low zoom. A few honorable mentions that I did want to put in was in fact the DCL 120. It is an honorable mention just purely because it's so expensive and it does look pretty damn goofy, but it reduces your recoil and it is definitely an easy sight to use. The DDHB is another one. Personally, I don't like it just purely because it's a 2.0 zoom optic, which is a bit high for my taste. Oh, it's been changed to 1.8. Anything over 1.5 is kind of not for me, but a lot of people love this. It's really good for low recoil assault rifles that are kind of hitting the medium range. It's perfect for that. DMR is perfect for that. The reason I ranked it so high though is because while it's not my preference, it's also extremely expensive, coming in at 1,200 kills, which is a bit of an investment if you don't want to pre-buy it. And the last but not least honorable mention is the IWI optic. It is a it is an iron sight. Now, the reason I ranked it so low is because it is 1.8 zoom, which personally I don't like. I prefer it to be lower zoom, but it is also extremely clean, but it does look a bit goofy in practice. That's why I don't like it personally, but a lot of people seem to run it, and whenever I pick it up on a gun, when I run out of ammo or something, I don't really complain about it. It does look a bit silly. The zoom is a bit high, but at the end of the day, it's non-obstructive. It gets the job done, and it's not the most expensive optic in the entire game. There are some optics that come in at 5,000 kills to unlock. This is at 1,000, but hey, it's clean. It's a bit expensive. That's why it's only an honorable mention and didn't make the list. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If this is, if this is a valid take or if I'm just talking out of my ass. Anyways, love you all. Catch you in the next video.